Hello everybody, CatSheet1383 with CatSheet Gaming. So, there was some news about E3 2023 being cancelled, and I honestly don't expect it to come back anytime soon, even after. So, let's face it, E3 has been on the decline for decades at this point. Yes, decades, not just years, decades. And I think the impact of this is that E3 used to be the main event of the year when it came to video games and electronics in general. But particularly video games, when companies would announce new titles, reveal new hardware, or demonstrate existing hardware that's soon to come out. It's also where a bunch of gamers learn the hard way not to fall for cinematic trailers and actually wait for gameplay trailers, which is why you have an insistence on seeing gameplay trailers versus the cinematic. Yes, the cinematic will gain my attention, but I'm like, yeah, let's see some gameplay first. That's because of E3. I was young and dumb and I fell for it. That's not the point. So E3 has gradually turned into this thing where companies try and one up each other in terms of spectacle and presentation, with various YouTubers and gaming journalists or organizations declaring the winner of E3. But let's face it, in the last, let's say, 7-ish, maybe even 10 years, it's turned into who can do the most embarrassing presentation. And if you're Microsoft, who can destroy your next gaming console.
We have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message. If you don't,
Well,
people don't like it.
if you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device. I mean, seriously, when I read the blogs and thought about
Don't get me wrong, Sony and Nintendo have had their moments. I mean, when Sony announced the PS3 at $600, yeah, that was definitely a moment in which it definitely did not work out in Sony's favor. Yes, they came out and topped in terms of actual console sales by the end of that generation, but I'm guessing Microsoft sold way more software. And let's not forget Nintendo's Wii Music game, where they would just embarrass themselves on the stage. Then there's the king of cringe, Ubisoft. I don't know how many times they can do a dance number in the middle of E3, but they don't seem to get the message. So maybe they did because they're not going to E3. And they're part of the reason why it was canceled. So maybe they did learn something. But the thing is, it's the reaction that I'm getting. It's this weird sense of disappointment. And I don't quite understand it because various companies, mainly the big three, or at least two out of the three, have been doing independent showcases on YouTube. Nintendo does the Nintendo Directs. Sony does State of Play. I don't even pay attention to Microsoft, even though I have an Xbox Series X. But that's not the point. The point is, this isn't the first time this has happened, and it seems that no one ever mentions it or remembers it. Let me pull up a short cartoon from Penny Arcade. So this cartoon from Penny Arcade comes from 2006. They canceled E3 with no intention of ever bringing it back. But for whatever reason, somebody decided to resurrect its shambled and rotting carcass, making it worse than what it already was. It should be no surprise that it was canceled again. They could do the exact same thing for cheaper and probably even better. They can control the production and the flow of it. They can reach a bigger audience. Yes, E3 was never going to last. The internet just killed it. It's just another victim of what has become of our society because of the internet. I really shouldn't call it a victim. It's just more like a casualty. And deserving of one, to be honest. Yes, it was the event. It no longer is. It's just a source of mediocrity and bad decision making at this point. And I guess if you like to see it for the cringe moments, I'm sorry, but they're gone. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and have a good one.